It goes without saying that broadcast interruptions are a pretty weird phenomena. Surprisingly, what goes on in these is pretty simple. Intruders just use transmitters to override broadcast frequencies, injecting their own content into the airwaves. Well, this iceberg made by User Zone was here exposes some pretty obscure and terrible broadcast intrusion incidents that have occurred throughout history. If you've been around my channel, I don't think I have to explain how icebergs work. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Weird Russian Hijack, 2014. This hijacking is very weird indeed. On May 26, 2014, during a regular broadcast of Russia's Channel 1 featuring the Russian sitcom Happy Together, a person suspected to be a former member of the performance art group Pussy Riot took control of the broadcast. The intruder conveyed an unclear political message to the viewers. The only existing copy of this hijacked broadcast has been preserved, and here's a bit of the very unnerving interruption.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May.
Alien Villain Interruption, 1977. On November 26, 1977, a broadcast signal intrusion occurred during a Southern television transmission in the UK. As ITN's Andrew Gardner reported on clashes in Rhodesia, the audio was abruptly replaced by a deep buzz and a distorted voice claiming to represent the Ashtar Galactic Command. The message urged humanity to abandon weapons for a future awakening and higher state of evolution. After nearly 6 minutes, the broadcast returned to its scheduled programming. The Hannington television transmitter's unique setup, rebroadcasting off-air signals from the IBA's Row Ridge transmitter, made it susceptible to such intrusions. Despite causing local alarm, it was later confirmed as a hoax by the IBA, marking the first of its kind. The incident gained global attention, with some questioning the explanation and treating the broadcast as a supposed alien message, contributing to a lot of ufology folklore by 1985. Telewizja Solidarnosa. I probably butchered that. 1985. This one's interesting because it's actually considered lost media. So in 1985, a group of astronomers led by Jan Hannas from the University of Turin created a sophisticated device involving a CX spectrum computer, a Sanyo monitor, TV set, cables, antennas, all to interrupt television broadcasts. They synchronized the CX spectrum with TVP's video signal from the TV set, transmitting messages during a Polish news program that I'm not going to try to spell, and a soap opera that I'm also not going to try to name. The messages expressed opposition to price increases, lies, and repression, advocating for solidarity Turin, and calling for a boycott of elections. The interruption was executed from Jan's house, resulting in the arrest of Jan and 3 organizers in September of 1985. Their January 1986 sentencing included 1 year of imprisonment. A rough reconstruction of the television hijack was later created on March 7, 2007 by user 4K Wadra. Here's the video. The Winker Song, 2017. In June and July of 2017, Mansfield 103.2 FM, a local radio station in England, experienced signal interruptions at least 8 times during external broadcasts. During these intrusions, the song The Winker Song was played. As of July 2017, the perpetrator had not been identified.
And And that's why I fell in love with my right hand. And that's why I'm a wanker, and it does me good like it bloody well should.
Random ABC Hijack, 2008. This entry is the first pretty obscure one on this entire list. I could barely find information on it, except this video on YouTube showcasing the interruption. The description reads as follows. At the end of a trade report on ABC, this strange pattern interrupted the broadcast. Some text was visible. This text must be legible and this should be, and then it just recites some of the more illegible and nonsensical text seen on the TV. Here's the full interruption.
First announced last week, but banana shares lagged today, falling in mid-morning trading. Stations have a good day.
It's not on here anymore because I changed the station and I turned off the TV.
Ronald Reagan Hijack, 1989. On a late December evening in 1989, a Los Angeles television station was victim of a hilarious broadcast signal takeover. A broadcast of the Reagan-Bush gavel passing was interrupted by a man wearing a tinfoil mask. The crazed person uttered mostly gibberish and became flustered when a piece of his set fell apart. 30 seconds later, the program returned to normal.
To the CIA, through Ronald Reagan's administration, the WWF, Florida.
Dave, come on, help us.
Did you just say my name?
Ronald Reagan put microphones in everyone's microwave.
Random Eerie Sounds, 1968. This incident, often regarded as a hoax, has gained renewed attention in recent years, particularly on horror TikTok. The debate about its authenticity continues due to a lack of credible sources. While skeptics dismiss it, a copy of the incident surfaced from a now-deceased technician at an NBC affiliate. The alleged hijacking, lasting approximately 25 seconds, involves a demonic creature mumbling before returning to normal broadcasting. Descriptions vary, with some attributing the event to August 29, 1968, claiming that all televisions in America shut down, accompanied by this transmission with the devil. Verifying if the event really happened is tricky, and some say it might be a mix of half-truths. People think it could be tied to a 1961 alert test, but there are doubts. The story might be getting things mixed up, like with the 1977 UK Haddington transmitter hijack, so even though many think it's a hoax, not much investigation or public attention has happened. In 2022, the only recording is on Daily Motion in a compilation from the former technician, and there's no new info or videos about the supposed hack. So yeah, this hijacking is pretty obscure. Max Headroom Incident, 1987.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
Some dry
I'm gonna breeze through this entry. If you're clicking on this video, I'm sure you already know about this. The Max Headroom broadcast signal intrusion occurred on November 22, 1987 in Chicago, Illinois. At least 3 unknown individuals hijacked the signals of WGN-TV and WTTW, wearing a max headroom mask and sunglasses against a homemade background. The intrusion happened twice within 3 hours, first during a sportscast for 25 seconds, and later after 11 p.m. during a broadcast of Doctor Who, lasting about 90 seconds. The incident gained national attention, and the culprits were never identified. What's most notable about this interruption is the way the second broadcast concluded. The video concluded with the masked figure's bare buttocks being spanked by a woman with a fly swatter while yelling, "They're coming to get me," with the woman responding, "Bend over," as the figure was crying and screaming. Yeah, it's pretty disturbing. No wonder it got so popular.
As far as I can tell, a massive electric shock. He died instantly.
Stop watching this, brother. We must fight the MPLA.
Maybe you could be the sandwich in my peanut jelly butter. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Our journey to victory has begun! Death to the MPLA!
This is a pretty infamous YouTube video by the YouTube channel Angel, and the only info that I could find was in the description, which reads, "Totally real footage of Cartoon Network getting hacked for a couple seconds." Me and my friend decided to look through old VHS tapes and found this rare footage. So yeah, we decided to post it because why not? Yeah, whatever. Whether it's real or not is up to you. Dead bodies are rising, 2012. So this actually occurred in 2013 from what I saw in the video's description. On February 11, 2013, CBS's KRTV had its emergency alert system hijacked, with an audible message warning viewers that the dead bodies would rise from the graves and attack the living. Later in the same night in Michigan and in the early hours of the morning in Wisconsin, the same type of hijacking and reference to a zombie invasion was made on CBS, ABC, and PBS. Shortly after, Ken W., a PBS affiliate in New Mexico, suffered a similar hacking incident, repeating similar information about zombies. In the end, this ended in the arrest of the hacker of the 4 television stations.
They are considered extremely dangerous. This warning applies to all areas receiving this broadcast. Tune in to 9:20 a.m. to get updated information in the event that you are separated from your television or if electrical service is interrupted. Civil authorities in your area have reported that the bodies of the dead are rising from their graves and attacking the living. Follow the messages on screen that will be updated as information becomes available.
Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord, 2007.
Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord. Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord. Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord. Jesus Christ, help us.
On January 3, 2007, while broadcasting an episode of the documentary Mayday, the Australian broadcast channel Channel 7 experienced a strange malfunction. During the broadcast of the documentary on air travel disasters, audio from a previous news broadcast somehow replaced the audio from the original program. The weird thing is that no one knows how it happened. The audio itself was of a story about an attack on a Halliburton boat caravan. Specifically, the looped audio was from a truck driver named Preston Wheeler, reacting to an ambush on the ship he was driving. For 5 disturbing minutes, the only thing that people watching the doc could hear was, "Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord." In the original story of the Halliburton attack, 3 people were actually killed and 2 were injured. Captain Midnight, 1986. Captain Midnight was an interruption made by John R. McDougall in 1986 to protest HBO's fees for satellite dish owners. The interference received a lot of attention in American society, and one executive even called the intrusion an act of video terrorism to showcase how important it was. As a result of the incident, the United States Congress passed the Electronic Communications Privacy Act of 1986, which makes hijacking transmissions a felony. Regarding the hijacking, there was a test card screen that said, "Good night HBO, from Captain Midnight, $12.95 a month? No way. Showtime movie channel beware." Yeah, it remained like this for about 2 minutes before being removed. So, yeah. Playboy Channel religious message, 1987. The religious message on the Playboy Channel was an incident that occurred on September 6, 1987. The kidnapping occurred during the broadcast of You Know What on the Playboy Channel. At some point during the broadcast, a message was displayed on the screen, which said, "Thus saith the Lord thy God, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand." The message is from the Bible verses Exodus 28 and Matthew 4:17. Thomas Haney, an employee of the Christian Broadcasting Network, was convicted of satellite piracy in connection with the incident. Haney, who had pleaded not guilty, was the first person convicted under the new federal law that made satellite piracy a felony, law made because of the Captain Midnight and Max Headroom incidents. Anonymous hack, 2015. In 2015, on a Fox News broadcast, Anonymous, probably the most popular hacker group of all time, made a hijacking where they spewed messages about how Fox was exaggerating the threats of terrorist attacks and overall misinforming the general public. And just take a look for yourself.
I would help them if they deserve it.
Dear Fox News, it has come to our attention that you have been alienating the American people by propagating the left-right false dichotomy, promoting fear by exaggerating the threat of terrorist attacks, supporting the corporate AstroTurfed Tea Party, and trying to pass it off as a grassroots movement.
Birdman, 2007. On November 18, 2007, at roughly 3:43 p.m., Fox affiliate station Fox 30 was interrupted during an airing of Matlock. The perpetrator of this pirate broadcast was never identified. And with this hijacking, yeah, it's pretty unnerving. I'm sure that's what you guys came for, so here it is.
Police couldn't examine.
Once you're inside the building, a blue dude with a ponytail. Don't worry, that is his name.
Nazis hijacking BBC, 1947. The BBC's radio broadcast of a musical program on October 14, 1941 was interrupted by Nazi Germans shouting false statements to citizens of Great Britain on how much money Winston Churchill has been paid by Germans, and spouting nonsense about how Germans have been swindled and stuff about America, and yeah. So the circumstances surrounding this hijacking are pretty unfortunate, but a pretty funny funny thing that came out of this is that apparently the hijacker really sounded like Donald Duck, which led listeners to name him Von Donald. This is from 1947, and so yeah, I couldn't really find the hijacking. It's probably lost media, but if anyone knows about its existence, then say it in the comments. World Series sex scene, 1988. Yeah, the World Series in 1988 got hijacked, and yeah, alright, so during the second inning from Game 1 of the 1988 World Series, on October 15, 1988, an unidentified technician from NBC affiliate WMG-TV in Macon, Georgia, was fired after the station's on-air feed replaced 10 seconds of the World Series with a black and white P-film during its broadcast. The hijack made statewide headlines, and the station's manager, LA Sturdivant, revealed a statement saying that it was triggered as an accident, not deliberately planned, and was being treated as a serious matter. That's pretty much all I could find on this entry. WBAB Incident, 2006. In the morning of May 17, 2006, the signal of radio station WBAB in Babylon, New York, was hijacked for about 90 seconds while signal jammers broadcasted a very deplorable song. Yeah, just know it's very racist, and it was made by a country singer and white supremacist named Johnny Rebel back in the 60s. I'm pretty sure I can't play clips of the hijacking on YouTube, but nowadays you can find audio of the interruption on YouTube, so I'll play a brief clip without showing anything TOS so you can have like an idea.
3 remaining finalists. The winner will be picked on May 24th. BAB weather today, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 68. I'm Ted Lindner with Roger and JP on Long Island's #1 rock station, 102.3 WBAB.
Nuclear explosion, 2007. On June 17, 2007, a group called Stohoven disconnected one of the cameras used for automatic live forecast from the Krokonosei Mountains and connected their own pre-recorded video source. What it depicted was a fictional atomic explosion with a mushroom cloud over the mountains. This led to the January 2008 announcement that 6 Stohoven members would be prosecuted for scaremongering and spreading false information. They faced prison sentences of up to 3 years. On March 25, 2008, a Czech judge dismissed the scaremongering charges against the artists, citing public amusement rather than public unrest, but the prosecutor said the state would consider an appeal. Roundshire Town hijack, 1986. This is an incredibly obscure case of broadcast hijacking, and the only information I could find was this video showcasing the hijacking. The description reads, in a lesser-known case of broadcast hijacking, a Roundshire television teletext news broadcast displaying news information about a suspected rabies outbreak in the summer of 1986 was hijacked by an individual who has not yet been identified. This tape was found in the RWNS TV archives and was given to the owner of this channel on a request. So one of the comments stated that the weird audio heard in the hijacking actually came from a rabies PSA made in the 70s. To this day, this video only has about 26k views. Pretty weird stuff. You are on the fastest route. 2014. So this is part of the insanely popular horror web series Local 58, the godfather of analog horror, created by Chris Straub, the same creator of Candle Cove. This is the first video on this channel, and one of the most popular for good reason. It's a fairly unnerving video.
Continue on unnamed road, then, in 300 feet, turn off your headlights.
Nicktoons Network NHL Pirated Cat Dog Recording Hijack, 2009. This one refers to a pretty unintentionally funny clip of someone freaking out over a literal NHL hockey game being played in the Nicktoons Network. This video is also pretty obscure, so yeah.
Why they keep hitting the black thing with the stick? Why do this? What in the fuck? This is so stupid. This is ridiculous. Look at the fall like an idiot. What the fuck? Cat dog? What the hell this is insane right now. What in the hell are they doing? Am I right or wrong? Is this insane? What in the hell? Why? This is supposed to be Rugrats. Oh no.
Disney Sex Scene 2007. This is a very unfortunate incident where Hardcore P was mistakenly broadcasted on the Disney Channel during a popular cartoon program, Handy Manny. The incident occurred around 9:30 a.m. on a Tuesday, affecting viewers in New Jersey. Comcast, the cable giant responsible for the error, confirmed it as an isolated issue in a local facility and stated that it was promptly corrected. A Disney Channel spokeswoman expressed concern and requested assurances from Comcast to prevent similar incidents. The State Board of Public Utilities in New Jersey also sought a meeting with Comcast officials to discuss the matter. I couldn't find information on the duration of the broadcast, the number of affected homes, or any suffered consequences, but yeah, this is just disheartening. Other Disney Sex Scene 2012. Yup, as the entry title suggests, this is another case of literal pee being showcased to children on the Disney Channel, this time during a broadcast of Lilo and Stitch. It goes without saying that this is really bad, and yeah, researching this tier was not fun. Alright, let's move on. Question mark, 2010. Okay, so, you guys are probably gonna hate this one. On September the 10th, 2010, at around 4 p.m., this TV channel's transmission was suddenly interrupted during an episode of Bridezillas, and this lasted about 8 seconds. During the interruption, a shadowy figure with an unnerving face appeared for about 10 seconds with some very loud, unknown sound effects. And yeah, this is real, apparently. So here it is. Viewer discretion is advised, I guess. Lower your volume, please. This hijacking on YouTube only has about 4K views, so it makes sense why it's down here in the Iceberg, due to its, obscurity and disturbing nature.
My biggest wedding day fear is my wedding dress not fitting. All right, y'all better be ready. Be still right now. Don't breathe. I need you to hold.
The Wyoming Incident, 2008. Yeah, the Wyoming Incident, pretty infamous creepypasta. People who watched the hijacking got headaches, vomiting, that type of stuff. I don't get why this is on the Iceberg, though it is a pretty classic ARG, so yeah. Cartoon Network hijacking 2023. Yeah, I'ma just play the clip. Gumball hijacking 2012. So first of all, this entry is probably not real. The description of the video showcasing the hijacking, which only has about 200 views, reads, edited from footage found on a USB drive belonging to brother after he disappeared on September 2nd, based loosely on a true event I experienced during my childhood. According to this video, on August 17th, 2015, a mysterious broadcast interruption occurred in the small town of Smithfield, Virginia. A rerun of the children's cartoon, The Amazing World of Gumball, was interrupted by an unknown individual who has yet to be caught. And well, yeah, roll the clip. Again, it's probably not real. If I had to guess, this is probably made by the same creator of the Iceberg, and he just added the entry to include his weird ARG type thing. Alright, that's the Iceberg. As always, I will appreciate any support, and the only way you can support me is by subscribing and liking. Hopefully we can reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Also, I could have added a couple more entries to the Iceberg, so if you guys want to see a part 2, then let me know in the comments. Alright, that's it. See you in the next video.